and welcome back to Jump King, where we're gonna suffer. We're gonna suffer. Because we've already played this game a little bit before. That's right. We fell all the way to the bottom, didn't we? Yeah. Alright, I remember what happened last time now. Congratulations, Jade, on getting the first redeem. Congrats, congrats. I remember last time we stopped because we fell all the way down. Okay. But, it's fine. Everything's fine. I don't remember much of where I need to be going, so it's gonna be like we're just playing it new. That's too far! We're off to a great start, aren't we? And hello, Ninja, and hello, Avixis. Yeah, I'm never gonna say that right, am I? And hello, Void. Hope y'all are all having a fantastic time zone. Oh, okay, we did it. Reminds you of the penguin game. Do I even want to know? Do I even want to know what the penguin game is? Oh, made it. Whoop, okay. Oh, that I just played with Tony Toe? Yeah. No, this game's harder than that. Reminds you of the penguin? No, this game's harder. No, wait! Nah. This is one of those games where it looks really easy as a viewer, because I was like, I saw someone playing this game, and I was like, I could do that, and I started playing the game, and I was like... So, I wonder if we're gonna be able to get to a new spot, then where, like, beat my record. Whew. Okay, we got this. Oh! Okay. It's been way too long since I played this game, so I don't really quite remember each jump's length, because how you jump at different heights like that, it's a tap, and then you jump higher the longer you hold it, but there's no gauge for you to see or anything. You just gotta hope that you're doing it. You just gotta hope that you're doing it right. And then hope you don't die. Yes, okay. Look at these games and you know you can't do them. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, where do I go from here? Okay, we got this. Hello, Evie! Hello. And then... we gotta go up here. Okay. No! We're okay. Everything's okay. Oh no. Okay. This jump is a little bit difficult. Okay, I did it. I'm through the hole. And then I didn't see what is going on up here. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Okay, alright. You see, we're at the top of this tree now. And I think I need to go here. And then... no, wait a minute! Okay, we're good. Everything's fine. Why are we screaming? Because it's terrifying. And I'm terrified. Okay, yeah, that's what I needed to do. Okay. We got this. Everything's fine. Everything's under control. And it's gonna be all good. Oh, okay, I made it. Ah, no! See, everything's fine. No reason to scream. Everything's fine! You see, we're doing really good at going down. We're doing really great at going down. But that's not the direction that we want to be going. We want to go up. You see? That's... Damn, that felt smooth. Okay. Alright, we got this. Okay, everything's fine. We got this. Whew! It is a Sylvia. Aw, I dear. Yeah. Hello, Robo. How are you doing? We're trying not to lose our mind. Oh, no. Okay. Everything's good. We didn't fall too far. Everything's under control. Everything's hunky-dory. Well, as long as we don't fall like all the way to the bottom, then it's not that bad of a fall. Now is it? You see? Not that bad. We can easily get back up. Ooh, okay. I just don't know how long I need to hold it for that jump to get on there. Oh, that's not enough. No! Okay, we're good. Everything's good. I do have some plans later today. I'm going to be a guest on Iso's stream. For a couple of stuff. So we're going to end up raiding them. Because I think she's doing... I think it's a subathon. There's so many different types of thon, like, marathons that you can do for streaming. Wow. Got this. Don't got this. It's gonna be fine, though. You see? Okay. Okay. Oh, so close. That's not fair. Okay, I thought I could make... Yeah. Any hoozles, all the way back up we go. Okay. We got this. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm not crying. You're crying. Okay, here we go. Nope. Okay. Okay, we got this. Nope. Okay, that wasn't enough, but that's fine. Damn, I really hate that jump. That jump is so hard. What if I go this? That's a more consistent way to get up there, I think. This makes this funnier. Silent Rachel smiling. I mean, I cannot smile. But, it smiles when I smile, is the thing. So, I'm sitting here smiling through the pain. Smiling through the pain. Smiling through the pain. We got this. Smiling through the pain. Oh, finally. Okay. All right, we got this. Oh, okay, okay. No, wait. Oh, we're good. We're good. Everything under control. Everything is good. Everything is fine. Everything's hunky-dory. And we're not gonna fall. Everything's gonna be just fine. Everything's fuck. Okay. It's fine. Because we didn't fall that far. And, hang on. I got an eyelash attacking me. It's stabbing me in my eyeball. If I can rip the eyelash out so I can actually see. You see, I get attacked by eyelashes, and it's not really fair, because if I can't see, then I can't jump. Okay, I got the eyelash. Okay, we're good. We're good. This game looks fun. It's so much fun that it makes me want to scream. That's how much fun it is. Okay, we got this. Hello. Hello, how are you? Oh, that was so close. Okay, that was too much. I held the button for too long. It's gonna be fine though. Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay! We made it! Are you trying to beat the game? No, we're trying to get all the way to the top, just so we can fall all the way to the bottom. Yes, we are attempting to beat the game. Yep. Anyway, up we go again. Just play on stream, cause chat wants rage. I mean, I try to. I don't want to play rage games just to rage. I want to see if I can actually beat the game. That's my goal, to win. I'm gonna defeat the rage game. Conquer it. And tell it it's a little piece of shit. Gets the top and yes. And just victory. And just victory. We got this. Yeah, I'm pretty skilled at a lot of games. But this is a rage game. So, can you imagine the speedrunners of this? The speedrunners of this game? Like how easy they would make it look. Okay. Oh, shit! Okay, I hit my head on the thing. We're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. Hollow Knight? Yeah, I like Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight's a lot of fun. We actually have a couple of different series on Hollow Knight. If you ever want to see any of my old VODs, I think I have something that's just exclamation point VODs that would work. I don't know if it'll work. I don't know if I remember to set it back up. Is it VODs? Yeah. There we go. Oops. I put all of my VODs on YouTube, so if you ever missed one, you can always check it out, even if it's been taken off of Twitch. Okay, we got this! These are the flowers that guy was talking about. These flowers right here. First run of Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight's great. What if I do this? Will it just like put me? Okay, almost, but not quite. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Oh, okay. We're on it. We're on it. We're on it. We're on it. I know what I have to do. All right. All right. Okay, a custom Jump King map? That's insane. No! Okay, we're fine. Everything's fine. Okay. We got this. Okay, I'm up. I'm up. I'm up. Ooh, look at me go. Ooh. Kind of. Okay. This one has slopes now, so that's a little bit terrifying. Oh. No, 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 no. It's fine. You see? We're fine. Everything is fine. Wait, no. Oh, okay. I tried pressing the jump button, but it didn't register it. Oh, that could have been bad. That could have been real bad. Down we go into the pits of despair. That. Okay, that wasn't me trying to go down more. Alright, I guess we get to go back up again. Clearly, I just can't get enough of this game, so I just wanted to play it from the beginning again. That's what I wanted. Clearly. Alright. Alright! Whoop! Don't fall. Okay, I just wanna... Okay, no! Oh. Face-to-face D&D, D&D! So much fun. Oh no! That really sucks, Void. You don't have anyone else to help you with that? Oh, that's not good. Mom was... Well, then what happened? That really sucks that that happened. Oop. Oop. Okay, now we're back up here. We got this. Got this. Everything's gonna be all good. Why can't I do this jump? I've done this jump before. There it is. Nope. Down I go again. Don't understand sometimes. I feel like I'm doing the same thing, but clearly I'm not. Okay. Seriously? Got this. Woof. I like this little ledge that's right there, because otherwise I would have cried a lot falling all the way to the bottom so many times. Okay. Damn it. We got this. Everything is fine. Everything is under control. Hang on. Aha! 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 You see, I just need to take it slow when I get to that part. I just need to do it slow. Everything's fine. That's too high. What am I... Oh, okay. Got it. All right. Now we're back to where we were before. Oh! Right on the edge. The thing is, I need to not... Oh! Got this. Got this. Up to the work. Ooh, bringing a big bad from your campaign. Ooh. That's cool. All right, I don't know how we're gonna do this part. Oh, that's how. I don't know how we're gonna do this part. Does it first try. I'm never gonna be able to do it again. Okay, so don't do that like that. No! Okay. Okay, I guess we get to go again. We got this. I do think I lost tracking for a second there. So I don't know if my model's going to be aligned properly. Yep, she wasn't. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Is there a checkpoint option in this game? No. Got it. What big house? I haven't even reached a big house, you old man. Let me just jump my sorrows away. Jump the pain away. We got this. Okay. Are you serious? Let me jump onto the thing. Thank you. We got this. Here we go. You know, I don't know what I'm doing in this game. I'm just trying to do my very best and then hope it's gonna be good enough eventually. Eventually, it'll be good enough. Eventually, I'll just have a really good run. One day. I don't know if that day will be today, but we'll see. We'll see. Nope. Okay. I'm just gonna cry. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's gonna be hunky-dory, and everything's gonna be a-okay. Ah! Don't walk off the edge! Oh my goodness! Okay, I didn't walk off the edge that time at the very least. Too much of a jump. Got it. Well, that's where I want to be anyway, because these jumps are so... Don't mind me walking off the edge like a dumbass. Because I'm a dumbass. Yep. Yep. Alright. Okay. Here we are. Yep. Yep. We got this. It's gonna be fine. We'll get up there. We'll get back up there eventually. We'll get back up there eventually. One day. Five years later, we'll get back up there. Okay. So. Alright. I don't really like this tree all that much. I hate this tree. Some trees are just meant to be burnt. Like this one. But Sylvia, that's murder! I don't care. Burn it to the ground. I hate this game. Oh my god. Alright, here we go. Up, up. And keep going up. And up. And up. And up. And up. And up. Yes! The power of the word up. Alright, we got this. Finally. Making strides, people. Oh, I just barely made that. Oh, oh. Okay, we got this. It's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. No! Okay. Anyway. Oh, okay. I don't know if I should be happy about getting better at that part or not. But you know what? It's fine. How's this red crowned woods when it's just a single tree? This game really needs checkpoints. Cause like, seriously? I'm gonna lose my mind. Okay, there we go. Nope, fuck. Okay, that's fine. Yep, everything is, yep. Everything is yep. Yep, 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 yep. Everything is yep. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep, yep. Mm-hmm, yep. I was expecting that. Yep. Got these. Why? That's too far. That... Okay. Wait, I did that wrong. Fuck. Yep. Oh my lord. I was on a pixel of that, just barely. Oh my god! No! Alright, it's fine. Everything's fine. Everything is cool. Everything is cool. I'm cool. Everything's cool. Mm-hmm. Yes. Just keep smiling and everything will be okay in the end. As long as I keep smiling, it'll be okay. Everything's okay if you're smiling. No! I pushed the jump button, but it didn't let me in the jumpy thingy. Alright, well. Hi guys, and welcome to this game called Jump King. Anyway. Any hoozles. That is the easiest jump! How did I miss? Okay, here we are again. Once again. Here we go. I pushed the jump button! Everything's fine. I'm cool. I totally didn't lose my mind for a second there. Please. Please. Up we go. Up, up. And up. And up. And up. And down. And up. And up. And up. And up we go. Yeah, where's my husband? Where's Tony Toe? Tony Toe! He's gonna lose his husband title that he worked so hard for. Gonna re-put it to wife. It was hilarious because I gave him the husband title in the Discord because he's my internet husband. But then like 5 minutes after I gave it to him, I was like, you know what would be funny is if I set it to wife, because I figured he would notice within like 5 minutes. He didn't notice for like 3 months. He didn't notice for like 3 months. It was great. Because, you know, he's the albino vampire. And wives look good in white. So, I made him the wife. Oh, okay! Progress. Don't generally check their own roles. It was displayed separately from all the other roles, though, so I thought he would notice. Because it's displayed separately, like the mod roles. But he didn't. And then I forgot about it. And then he's like, how long has this been like this? And I was like, oh yeah, I changed that about 5 minutes after I gave you the husband role. It was pretty great. Alright, go back here. Fuck! Alright. He is blind. It's part of the albinism. So I can bully him very easily. And down we go again. Up. Up. And we go up. I said up, not down, motherfucker. He's like, yeah, he's part bat. That's why he's a vampire. Because he's fucking blind, like a bat. All around me are familiar places. We got this. Oh! Fucking hate this game. Any hoozles. Anyways, we'll just keep on trudging forward. Once again. Once again. And always. doing the same part over and over and over and over and over and over. Just hoping to get on that dumb platform. Oh, I did it. All right. Damn it. Okay. All right. All right, we're here. We're making progress. No, no, no! Why? Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. Over and over and over again until I lose my fucking mind. Repeating the same things over and 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 over. I can't see what that just looks like tortillas or something to me. I don't know what emote that's supposed to be. What does it say it's supposed to be? Melting smiley face. Yes. Yes, the melting smiley face. Yeah, that's me. I should get an emote like that. I don't have emote money though. Down we go again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And again. And again and again and again and again and again. Okay, okay. I'm so scared about overjumping. I'm so scared. Oh my god, please. Please have mercy on me. Mercy! Whoo! Mercy on the poor soul, please. Oh, we made it! We just barely made it! Okay. Okay. No! Why? This music is way too happy for what I'm doing right now. I hate this game, and this game hates me. The game is laughing at me. Jump King's like, fuck you, that's what the game says to me. The game is cursing at me, laughing at my pain! It mocks me. Everything's fine. Everything is awesome. Everything is great when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome when you lose your sanity. Oh my god. Hello, Ketzer. I don't know if I said that right. I never know if I do anything right. What am I doing with my life? What am I doing What am I doing playing jump? Yep. Yep. Thank you for the headbands. Thank you. I need some IRL headbands. Everything is awful. Yeah, mixtape. Alright, alright, alright. We're getting back to where we were. Slowly. Never mind. We're never ever gonna be back to where we were before. We're just gonna keep on suffering on this tree for all eternity, and the tree is gonna laugh and mock me, and it's like, hee, you're a tree spirit. What if I just fuck you up for eternity? Because I'm clearly the better tree, even though I'm not pink, I'm red. Because red's a better color, but it's not a better color. Pink's a better color, and it's laughing at me. It's laughing at me. The tree, it laughs. Trees judge you, just so you know. I'm laughing at I'm judging you, Deltara. The trees, they judge you. Next time you pee in a forest, just know the trees are judging you. They're all watching and judging. You're never truly alone if there are trees, and that is a threat. That's why we use them as firewood. Joke's on you, trees are also masochists. No, actually, I don't know. Trees can put curses on your family. That's why you have to pay people to get lumber. They cut down the trees for you, and they take on the curses, and then you can use the firewood. Because otherwise you would perish. Wow, look at me go! Wow, look at me fall into the abyss of insanity! I don't know what the fuck that was. I don't know what my brain does sometimes. Yep, this is we're just stuck on this tree. Forever. Forever. The tree is our home now. And our home is pain. So much pain. From the tree. Look at me go. Look at me die. Look at me fall. And look at me cry. Oh, okay. Let me get on the fucking tree thing, please! Please! Oh my god. I'm just gonna keep on falling and 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 falling, and then one day I'll have absolutely no sanity left and I'll just go absolutely insane. Look at me. Look at me. I'm gonna go insane. I'm gonna go insane. The tree got done with my shit. Fuck! I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Let me up. Insane in the membrane. Look at me jump. Look at this little asshole jump. Look at him. He's wearing a helmet. It's not gonna protect him from the fucking brain damage from all the falls that we're suffering. He's just gonna have so much brain damage. What a little dumbass. Fuck! Damn it, I hate everything. Look how far we fell. Red trees are racist towards pink trees. That's what I've established here. You see this green? You see the green tree? The green tree just lets me go up. The green tree just lets me go up. It's this red motherfucker. Yeah, it's the red tree. The red tree is racist towards pink trees like me. It's really rude. They wish they could be pink. That's why. They wish they were pink. They're not, though. They just get to be red and ugly. Like their souls. Please let me up. Please! Let me ascend the tree! Oh, thank you! I don't want to have to climb that tree ever again. It'll be too soon. Please. I hate this part. This part's so scary! Oh my god. Please. I just want to stand on that platform. Okay. 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 Yeah, it's okay. Everything is okay. Everything's fine. Everything's hunky-dory. Everything is under control. Nothing is gonna go wrong now. Holy no, please. I'm gonna drink some water. Okay. The Humpty Dumpty, yep. All the way down. Into the abyss of insanity. Hello, Joda? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Welcome to the party of insanity. Yep, we're good. Everything's good. Everything's fine. Everything's hunky-dory. We're doing... Fuck! Anyway. We're fine. Everything's fine. Everything is painful. When you're playing Jump King, makes you want to lose your sanity. Yep, okay. I've just accepted it at this point. Falling is just a part of the game. The game is how going back into fuck this game, fuck this game, fuck this game, fuck this game, fuck. I can't even jump up now. I'm losing my mind. Oh my god. Oh my god. We got me all the way to the bottom. We went all the way to the bottom. I hate this. This is not a peaceful stream. There will be screaming and cussing. For those of you who are expecting peacefulness, thank you, Void. I need all the headpats I can get. Oh my god. Oh, thank you for the boops. Drink some water. Okay. We got this. All right, we're back at the tree. Oh, hello, little tree. How are you doing? Don't mind me. I'm just gonna climb up real quick. I'm not gonna be a bother at all. I'll be right out of your leaves. Okay, we're gonna eat a snack. I got Reese cups. So I'm gonna eat a Reese cup. Taking a short snack break. Thank you for the snack redeem. Make sure you all drink a water stuff. Yeah. I want y'all to know that we started today with the falls being at 200 something, so we've already doubled our falls. Oh my god. I'm just gonna eat my Reese cup real quick. Take a breather. My thumbs kind of hurt from the controls. I've been pressing down on them too hard. But, you know, the harder you press on the button, the better it works, you know? That's just how controllers work, right, guys? You push down, and it does what you want. And the more aggressive you are with your pushing the button, the more it does what you want. Yep. Alright, I ate my Reese cup. Almost. Peanut butter's chewy. I love peanut butter. It's such a good peanut butter. You have to drink water after you eat a Reese cup because of the peanut butter. Alright. Can we get back to the cages? Oh! Oh my god, 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 oh my god. No! Damn. Damn. Okay. Please let me come back up your tree all peacefully. Please. Please, little tree. Thank you. Thank you, little tree. I appreciate you. Alright. My ear is itchy. Stop that. Stop it. There we go. Alright. No, that's too far. Okay. Down we go again. Don't mind me, little tree. I'll be out of your leaves soon enough. Okay. Look, it's not like I'm trying to climb you repeatedly. I just want to get to the top. I don't even care about the smoking hot babe. I just want to get to the top to say that I got to the top. Would I like to see a smoking hot babe? Of course. Who wouldn't? But that is not the goal. The goal is to not... Doug walked up to a lemonade stand and he said to the man running the stand, I fucking lost my mind playing Jump King. Okay. Alright. Five years later, she made it up the tree. 5 years later, she made it up the tree again because she fell all the way back down to the bottom because the tree hates her. 5 years later, she made it up the tree just to fall down. Oh boy. I was holding the wrong direction. Alright. Wheel! We got these. I need more songs for my playlist. I feel like I don't have enough songs on my streaming playlist. I'm only really doing, like, anime openings because I want it to be not English. I like the way that Japanese sounds. And I like anime. So, I mostly go for anime openings if I can. Japanese music. I don't know. I need more songs on it, I think. I don't really like the recommended... I don't really like how Spotify's recommended songs works for playlists because they'll just send you... Like, they don't refresh properly. Like, they'll consistently recommend the same songs, and it's like, yeah, great, I've already checked those out. Can you recommend me a different song? BTS? No, I don't actually listen to them. It's more so anime songs that I listen to. Like, from animes. I don't really listen to BTS. I mean, I'm not one of those people who will, like, stan the idols or anything like that. I'm not really into idol culture. I'm just like, oh, this is a good song, and I don't give a fuck who made it. That's how I do stuff. And, yeah. Down we go again. Up and down and all around. 5 years later, she made it to the ground. All right. I'm on a pixel! I'm on a pixel! Oh my god! Let me up, please! I didn't go far enough. No! I don't want to fall down the tree again, please. 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 I'm so paranoid about over jumping. Oh, thank God. No! All right. That was a really bad fall. Let me up. Here we go. Hello, little tree. I've come back to visit you. You're so beautiful. Thank you for letting me pass him by without much issue. You know, even though I said you were a beautiful little tree, that did not mean I meant to visit you again so soon. Because if I have seen you for too long periods of times, the worth of your beauty begins to fade. I need it in very small increments, you see? And so what I need is to get to the very, very top and never see you again. That way I can bask in the memory of your beauty. You see? Goodbye. Okay, well, I think I've officially lost my mind. Why, hello there, tree. Every time I see you, you get less beautiful, so I need to no longer see you. That is not how I meant to no longer see you! Hello, green tree. Okay. Up we go again. And again. And again. Oh boy, we get to do that part again? It's my favorite part. Oh my gosh, look at me go. Look at me jump around like a fucking... Jumping around like an idiot. Falling on my face like a dumbass. Falling on my face like a dumbass. It's a sip sip. What the fuck? I'm on a pixel. That's like the third time that has like happened. Landing on a single pixel of a frame. That is absolutely insane. Alright, up we go again. And up we go again. And again. And again. And again. Nope, I'm going down. And again. And I'm going down. And now we're going up. And now we're going... And my hair's tickling the back of my neck. Hang on. Get back in my headband. There we go. Yep. 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 Yep, 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 yep. Tree, let me pass by in peace so I can tell others of your beauty. You don't want just me to know about you, do you? I'm sure that the smoking hot babe at the top would love to hear about the beautiful red tree. I would like to come take her to visit you. So if you would just let me pass on by. Please. Please. The tree is like, I've already let you pass on by several times. You're the idiot who fucking fell. I know I fell. I couldn't resist the tree's beauty, but now I must leave. I must. Yep. 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 There we go. All right, we got this. Everything's fine. Everything's hunky-dory. Look at that. We're at the red tree again, and I can't get up this most simple of easy of jumps. Oh my god. Let me up the tree, please. I'm not losing it. You're losing it, Delta. Hello, little tree. Would you mind letting me pass by peacefully? That is not peacefully. That is... Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. I see. I'm gonna cut you down into small little pieces and use it as fiber if you don't let me fucking pass, you goddamn tree. Let me pass. This is no longer fun and games. I just want to get past this tree. Oh my god, please. I'm going to murder you. I'm gonna burn you into cinders. And it will not be pleasant. It will be slow and painful. Thank you. Any hoozles. We're now away from the tree. We're back in here in the drain. Oh my god, we made it! I don't really know. Okay. That's okay. I'm sure we can do it again. I'm sure we got this. We just need to make it a little bit further up. That's all. We just need to go back up again. And we're gonna be okay. I'm sure we can make this jump again. I'm sure we're not gonna absolutely lose our fucking mind! Hello. Every time I see you, it makes me want to burn you a little bit more. Alright, this is fine. Hug the... I shouldn't be I shouldn't move and reach out at the same time, I don't think. Okay. We're gonna get to the top, and it's just gonna be the old man waiting up there for us. He's like, haha, I fucked with you this whole time. There is no hot babe. It's just me. And he takes off his cloak and his old man body in a bikini because he's a weirdo. That's what we're climbing up for. He has a secret elevator that he's not gonna tell us about because he fucking hates us. Yep. This is just my life now. Climbing up trees. Over and 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 over. Solo Leveling. You know, I read Solo Leveling. I haven't watched it. I read it as a webtoon before it came out as an anime. I didn't finish it, though. Because ADHD got me distracted. You're the babe. Oh, I don't want to go to the top anymore. Nope. But Stinky Deltara. Season 1. Oh, we have that somewhere on the playlist. It's that one's already on the playlist. The Attack on Titan opening song's already on here. Somewhere. Oh, it just played? I'm so out of it that I'm not even hearing the music that I'm listening to. It's just background noise at this point, and I'm just losing my mind. Alright. Whew. Yep. Yep. We're just gonna be here for a little while. Hi, Roxas. Thank you for the lurk. And we're down again. Yep. That makes sense. Alright, back up we go. All the way to the top. Once again. Raccoon with a knife. I'm a deer with a knife. Which one do you fear more? Deer or raccoon? Okay. Yeah. Love it. Love to see it. Love to fall. Love to just not be able to get up this tree at all. Hey, that rhymed. You have opposable thumbs, obviously me. Yeah, but isn't it more terrifying to not know how a deer is gonna come at you with a knife? Where are the knives? Are they taped to my antlers? Knife antlers. Oh, you better run! I'm just gonna keep on falling. Keep on falling into the abyss. Keep on falling, keep on falling. Like, I expect a raccoon to hold it with its little hands. You see a deer coming at you with your knife, you're like, how do you have that? Deer with a knife is scary. Deer's gonna come at this tree with a knife and carve it up and burn it into little tiny pieces if it doesn't let me go up it! Everything's fine. The raccoon taped the knife to the deer. Honestly, yeah. I can see that. I could see that from like a little like comedy movie. Have you guys ever seen the movie Over the Hedge? I imagine it in that format. No, please have mercy. All right. All right. Yep, this is where we live now, chat. We live in the sewers. No, we don't. We live back on the fucking tree. Oh my god. I'm never gonna be able to escape this fucking tree. There we go. Oh my! Yep. Yep. All around me are familiar faces. Worn out places. Please let me go. Oh my god, thank you. Moving on. Moving forward. Let me through. Let me go. Oh my gosh, my eyebrows itchy. Blame the squirrels? Yeah. Stupid squirrels knocking me off. Oh, thank God. Alright, someone had advice for this area and I don't remember what it was. Hug the wall. Oh my God! Thank you! You're amazing, you're fabulous, you're so pretty, or handsome, or whatever. Whatever you want to be referred to as. You are amazing, and we love you. Fuck, I'm falling. I'm falling for no reason. I don't know how to do this part. Oh, I did it. Okay. No! I have no monies. I have 2 pennies. At least I know how to do that part now. You see? I know how to do it now. Yeah. Why? Oh my God, why? Why? Okay. It's fine. Everything's fine. We got this. Everything's fine. Let me up the tree, please. Please. Please let me up the tree. Please let me up the tree. Thank you for the boops. I know this jump's just a baby tap, so I don't know why it wasn't working. Water. All right. All right. You can feel the keyboard. I'm using a controller. I hate my- oh my god. Can you feel my soul breaking with every fall? There we go. Poor controller. It's being clutched. Yeah. I love this game. Makes me so happy. Oh my god. We get to jump around as a little guy. Look at me jump and jump and jump and fall and fall and fall and fall. And then I get to jump and then I get to fall and then I get to jump and then I fall. Yep. Yep. Here we go. Again. And again. I hate this game. And this game hates me. Wow, look at me go. Wow, look at me go. Wow. 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 Look at me lose my fucking mind. Coldplay music. I don't watch music videos. I just listen to songs on repeat until I get sick of them. And then I'll listen to them again a month later. I actually learned recently that listening to the same song on repeat is a form of stimming, and I'm just like, oh yeah. Because my autistic ass. Gotta stim. Yep. 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 Yep, there we go again. And again. And again, 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 and again. Okay. And again! Oh my lord! Please! I think they do it like a music video, one song per album, and it's like the featured song or something. I don't know. I would like to say that's the last time I'm gonna walk off of an edge, but I doubt that. Yep. Yep. We're just gonna keep on trudging forward, keep on doing our best, just keep swimming. Oh my god, okay. Nope. Okay, we're back up. We're back up once again. I held it for too long. Alright. Alright. Look at us go. We're going. We're trudging. We're trudging and we're trudging and we're trudging and we're trudging. Yep. 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 It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's... fine. Why there are flowers in the middle? The old guy references it because it's the top of the tree. He's like, have you smelled the flowers at the top of the tree? And I'm like, I do not give a fuck. But if there's an actual reason, sure. I thought it was just designs. Meow. What makes flowers grow faster? Sunlight and water. Oh, fertilizer. Because we're at the sewers? Because fertilizer is poop. Oh, there's brown shit stains going down this pipe. They're shit flowers. That's funny. It's a shit tree. Get shat on, tree. You dumbass tree. Why can't I... You're a shit tree. Poop tree, you're a stinky poop tree. Oh, that's why he asked you if you smell the flowers? Well, I guess it's a good thing I didn't then. Because they probably smell like shit. Help. Welp. Here we are again, starting from basically the beginning. Okay. Yep. All the way at the beginning, once again. And again. And again 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 and again. Anyway. Princess Monaco? Oh, I like that movie. What do you mean it should come out soon? The movie's already been out. I've seen it in theaters. Maybe you're talking about it. Maybe I'm thinking of The Woods. Yeah, Princess Monaco, Studio Ghibli, right? Come out of the woods. Huh? Is this something I'm too defeated to... Because we're in the... Yeah, I know we're in a forest, but... Doesn't she, like, keep to herself? And, like, we're not messing with the... I can't remember the plot of the movie. I might just be having an autistic moment. You see, so no, I'm autistic. I'm a dumbass. Sometimes I just don't get jokes because of autism. It's not your fault. I'm just too autistic to get it. And we fell again. That happens sometimes. Sometimes my tism's just a little bit too much. Everything's fine. We're fine. We're good. Everything's good. Everything's fine. I'm just gonna climb up this tree and then I'm gonna burn it down. Just gonna climb up this tree. Oh! Alright, we're back at the shit flowers. I need a checkpoint, for fuck's sake! Hate this game. You talk about things in reverse order. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Alright. Oh. Got this. Wife. Oh, married. Married life. Have a wife, happy life. Wow. Ho! Oh, barely. Oh, please. Oh, I always feel like that's not gonna make it, but it always just barely makes it. Okay, I don't know. Okay, this is the part I struggle on. Okay. 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 I just really wanted to try again, you know? I just really wanted to... Toddler taps. My baby tap was too baby. And I fell. Oh, my positioning was wrong. I think I'm getting worse. You know, at a certain point, you just start to get worse. I don't know why I'm struggling with this one. This one is supposed to be one of the easiest jump. Okay, there we go. You got this. Yep. Yep. ADHD and autism. Ask away. I love edumacating. I got the double whammy. My ADHD is a little bit more prevalent than my autism at times. That's why I had no idea I had autism until I graduated high school. But it makes sense. A lot of things make sense once you know. Yep. Yep, I'm falling again. And again, 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 again, all the way to the bottom. Please, no. No more falling, please. I don't want to. I would prefer to not fall if that was okay. What did I just say? I just said I didn't want to fall. Alright, well, back up where you get to go again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Let's see. If you're in the middle of a conversation and something catches your eye, do you ever interrupt the conversation and comment on the thing you just saw or remembered because you don't want the moment? Yes. There are times I do that, but it depends on who I'm with. Because there are some, like, I wouldn't do that if it was like a work colleague, but if it's like a friend or something, I'd be like, hey, wait, we just gotta pause this for a second because otherwise I'm gonna forget. So I will, but it depends on the circumstance. Well, we actually landed on this part of the tree. Oh my god. All right, we got this. Got it. So we're back down here again, and fuck! Oh, and if we don't look like we're listening to you, people with ADHD and autism, if we have to physically look at your face, chances are we're actually listening less than if we're looking at anything else. Because it takes brain power to look at your face. Sometimes. Not all the time. But if it looks like we're not listening, we're probably listening. And if it looks like we're listening, we're focusing on looking like we're listening. Just so you know. Okay, I didn't jump high enough. Because our brains are weird. Yep. I'm never gonna get up this tree. There should be a checkpoint, like, thing that you can do if you want. You just won't get the true achievement. It'll be like baby jumps. You completed the game with checkpoints or something. It'll be like a separate achievement. Because I really need that right now. Yep, okay. We're just gonna fall and 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 fall. Yep. You fall, I fall, we all fall and we cry. Yep. Oh yeah, that sounds like an overstimulation thing. That'll happen too. Sometimes I accidentally focus on the wrong conversation. It's just like, wait a minute, I'm listening to someone who's not even talking to me. Oops. That's happened before too. Which is kind of funny when it happens. Crying, screaming, throwing myself on the floor unintentionally as I fall down this game. Again and again and again and again and again. Hi, Coco! Hi! How are you? Hi! Hope you're having a good day. We are having Rage Game. Yeah. Yeah. We've been here for a while. You having a good day? That's fantastic. Love that for you. Here we go. We're making progress. You could never play one of those games? Yeah, I only play them for stream. I do not play these on my free time. There is no point in me playing this for my free time because I would just quit. There's no point in me trying to play these games by myself. chat is the only reason why I actually finished my genocide route of Undertale, and... Yep. I would have quit if it wasn't for chat. Can we go back up, please? Uppies! 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 Is this actually gonna work? Uppies! There's no way. The sequel? Fuck that shit. No. Maybe if someone pays me. Uppies! What if I do this? No? I'm just gonna drink some water. I'm just gonna... Yep, okay. Multiplayer and melee attacks? Yeah, definitely not. That would sound like a race to the top. And if someone gets close to you, you just whack them down. And you go, suffer. By the way. Caramel or caramel? Caramel is if it's hardened, and caramel is if it's liquidy. I say both! I say both! It took me a second to realize what you were doing because it was the same word. I know they're spelt the same way, but you say, like, people say them differently. Yeah, I'm just a little bit weird. Yep. All the way down we go again. Just gonna jump the wrong way because I'm a dumbass. No! I swear to God. Hello, Himbo, hello! All the way back to the beginning. I do learn from my mistakes. Shut up, old man. I don't give a shit about you. Look at how fast we are now. Wait, I jumped the wrong way. That doesn't count. Look at how fast we're going right now. I will respect elders if they respect me. Hot take. Even hotter take, I only respect people if they're respecting me. You see, there are two different types of respects that people will use, and there's respect as treating someone as a person, and then there's respect as of treating someone as an authority. And there are some people that are like, if you don't respect me, I won't respect you, but they're using it as if you don't respect me as a person of authority, then I won't respect you as a person. And those kind of people fucking suck. Just gonna say that. So if you don't respect me, I'm not gonna respect you. Simple as that. Respect is earned, not guaranteed. It is a privilege, not a right. There you go. No! You just bullied the deer? Yeah, because you're stinky. Delta has nothing better to do, so he just bullies me because he's stinky. Try to use the respect and the... Yeah. Yep. Yep. I fell again. I fell again. Fuck. You wanna know who doesn't treat people like people? Walmart. If you're an employee of Walmart, I'm so sorry. I will never work for Walmart again. They fucking suck. I hate them. And I'm falling again. I can't. That bad? So Walmart has this thing called a point system, and if you get 5 points, they can fire you. That is just what they have in their legality. So a no-call, no-show is 3 points. Makes sense. If you call out, it's 1 point. Now, they have this thing called protected paid time off. You do not start with any protected paid time off. And so if you call out, you can use this protected paid time off to not get a point. But the thing is, when you start working there, you don't have any when you first start working there. Now, even if you have a doctor's note, they do not have to remove the point from that day. My manager, my team lead, whatever the fuck. Anyway, I had a doctor's note and she's like, I just want you to know that this is just something that I do for my team. That if you have a doctor's note, I'll take the point off for you. However, it is not Walmart's policy. And that's how I knew. Because there are some times where she doesn't accept the doctor's note because she's whatever. So yeah. Honestly, I think she accepted mine though at that time because they didn't have anyone else for service desk and they couldn't afford to fire me. At that time. But you know, whatever. But the thing about protected paid time off is that you can use it for being late as well. Now, what's really fucking annoying is that there was this one guy that I worked with who was late every single day. But because he used his protected paid time off, they couldn't fire him for it because that was their policy. If you use the protected paid time off, you won't get in trouble. Normally, if you're late, you get a half a point, but not if you use your protected paid time off. And it was so frustrating because it didn't help the people who were actually there all the time. It was so stupid. It was just enabling this one guy who was just always late. And it was so annoying because the schedule is set up in a way that they have it set up so when people come in, certain people get their lunch or their break or whatever. But because he was always late, so the minimum amount of protected paid time off you can use is 15 minutes. So he was always at least 15 minutes late, if not half an hour late. And so it was always really frustrating and really annoying. But then also, we didn't have a manager for the first half of the day. So like in the mornings, no manager. And so we would have to manage ourselves. And it was basically whoever was on service desk. But then the person who had been there for the longest quit because they just kept fucking with him. They tried to deny his vacation time, but that was just one thing upon a bunch of little stuff. But anyway, I digress. He had been basically managing while there wasn't a manager. He's not a manager. He had manager duties without the title and without the compensation. Whatever. He left. Because, you know, that's just what you do. You leave when you're treated like shit. And so I was on service desk and everyone was coming to me. They were coming to me about their breaks and when it should be. So I was like, okay, well, we don't have a manager. I'll do that. Well, the managers didn't like that. They said if I try to act like a manager, they're going to write me up. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I won't manage. And so people kept coming to me because they're like, hey, we need to know what to do. And I'm like, I can suggest you stuff, but I can't tell you what to do because I'll get written up. And they're like, okay. what's your suggestion? And I'm like, this is just a suggestion. You don't have to listen to it. And I would have to say that every single time because I wasn't trying to get fired from trying to make sure that things were covered, you know? But there was one day, the managers were there. We had not only our team lead, but an academy trainer, which is like the manager of our team and a baby manager of our team. We had 2 managers there. And then one of my coworkers comes to me and she's like, hey, so-and-so's been here for 5 hours and they haven't had their break or their lunch yet. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah. And so I have the radio at the service desk, and so I radio that over, and they're like, and our team lead, our manager is like, I will be right out. And I'm like, you're not going to tell me to send him the break or anything? Anyway, when she comes out, she tells him to go to break, and then immediately after his break to clock out and take his lunch. And I'm just like, if you guys had just let me manage our team, because like stuff was actually getting done when they let the person on service desk manage the team because the managers aren't doing their fucking jobs. Anyway, they ended up letting me go for different reasons. Because, I don't know, I was just causing issues, trying to get people... It was a lot of stuff. I was actually bothering managers to do their jobs and all kinds of other stuff like that. And then, whatever. Anyways... Last I hear, they have like 3 people on the front end. You're supposed to have 4 at all times because you have to have someone watching. You need 2 people for each of the self-checkout areas because there are 2 different self-checkouts areas. And you need someone on manned register because you can only do checks through manned register. And some people just hate self-checkout, which is valid. But also you need someone on service desk. That's 4. And that's just for like a shift duration. So you actually need at least 8 people if you want to have it open for the times that it's supposed to be open. And I'm just like, yeah, you guys fucking suck. And I'm surprised they're not just closing down that Walmart location because it is always understaffed. And people who, if you apply for, I'm not going to say what store location it is, obviously that docks me. But there was multiple times when we had people on our front end team who were like, yeah, I applied for stalker, like the job application said stalker, but we never had people for the front end team because people kept quitting because it fucking sucked. The management sucked. Everything sucked. It was a dumpster fire. Yep. And when we actually did have enough people, they would schedule people to where we didn't have enough to cover every station, or we had way too many. And we never just had a happy medium. It was really annoying. The supermarket horror store, yeah. Walmart sucks. Don't work for Walmart unless you absolutely have to. There was one time I was at service desk, which is where you do returns, among other things. A guy came in, he's like, I was in here just 15 minutes ago, but I got the wrong thing, I need to return it. I'm like, sweet, do you have your receipt? And he's like, I just bought it. I'm like, sir, it just makes it easier. And some things can't be returned without a receipt. He's like, I just bought it. If I can't find my receipt in my car, I'm gonna need to talk to your manager. And I'm just sitting there because, okay, whatever. It was a receipt-only return item because certain items have to be returned with a receipt. Otherwise, it's exchange only, which is only for the exact same item. But he was mad that he didn't bring in his receipt that he just got. And I'm like, this is not my fucking fault. Luckily, he had it, so I didn't have the deal. But what an asshole. Not the worst. Not even the worst. We've had people walk into the store, grab something off the shelf, and then try to return it. But we're like, we literally saw you walk in, bro, with nothing. Like, they think we're stupid or something. Now, I'll say it because baby food, too expensive. If you were walking out with baby food or you forgot, quote unquote, to scan it, I didn't say shit. It's baby food. Take your goddamn baby food. It's too expensive for what it is. If I was on self-checkout and you didn't scan your baby food, if my manager didn't tell me to keep an eye on you, you get to take it. I don't even know how I started talking about Walmart. Walmart fucking sucks, though. Don't work for Walmart. Also, the prices are just insane. If you're not buying from their brand, the prices are absolutely insane. And they do that so you buy from their brand. Whatever. Walmart sucks. I do like how they suffered after they let me go. And I'm just like, they didn't realize that as an autistic person, we are accidentally one of the hardest workers. And so I had some of my coworkers be like, yeah, it's gone to shit without you. And I'm like, yeah, I know, because I was already taking up the reins for the last person who left and was managing the team, basically. But yep. Still looking for a new job. It's like nearly impossible. But I'll get there eventually. One day. Hopefully sooner rather than later so I can pay my bills. But there's only so much you can do while looking for a job. At some point you're just like, okay. And it doesn't help that there are a lot of fake job postings out there, and you can't even use Indeed or LinkedIn anymore because as soon as you sign up, you get a bunch of spam and scam. There's so many scams out there on LinkedIn and Indeed now, you can't even use them. So what you have to do is go to the actual company's career website and go there manually. So what I did is I went onto Google Maps and looked at everything. I basically just kept increasing the radius and just going onto that company's specific career websites and looking for openings and applying that way. I need a job though because I need to be able to pay my bills. But for now, I'm just sitting here, anxious. Had a couple places that the interviews seemed promising, but they haven't called me back, so I'm assuming I didn't get it. Oh, it was about respect. Yeah, we were talking about respect, and Walmart doesn't respect you. If you're an employee, it says, fuck you. Whatever. I'll get there eventually with the new job. It'll be a better job, hopefully. As soon as I have the job, though, I'm going to be still looking for a job because I want a work-from-home job. That'd be nice. I tried signing up for, like, those food delivery, like Spark and Uber Eats and DoorDash. They're full. They're full in my area. How do you have too many drivers? Let me sign up, and if I can't get a thing, then that's fine. But at least let me try to sign up, because you're telling me that there's always at least 5 people. Well, I assume. I don't know what the actual number is, but let's say it's 5. Constantly clocked in around the clock. Let me sign up for your fucking app so I can maybe make some money. Like, Jesus. I've used those apps before, and the wait time for getting a driver to pick up was so annoying sometimes. So I don't even know how they're full. Haven't used them recently because I don't have a job, but all the other times that I had used them, it was really annoying. Okay, finally. Made it back onto this platform. But I'm not like an artist or anything, so I can't just sell my art. And even if I started drawing now, it's not going to be good enough to sell. And so I'm just like, well, what do I do? Sell feet pics? I don't even know where I would do that. Yep, that's just where we're at nowadays. Oh wells. Oh, I'm falling off the tree again. I basically just accepted the falling as a part of my life now. It's just normal. I'm just gonna keep on falling and there's nothing I can do about it. Hoof picks. Yeah. Oh, there they are. You stinky. You degen. I fell off because I walked off because I didn't push the jump button. Yep. Unfortunately, channel points does not pay the bills, but, you know, whatever. I legit don't have money for bills this month, but I'll figure something out. Hopefully. This became a ranting stream. I wasn't trying to rant. But oddly enough, it's kept me calm while playing the game, even though I've been falling. Sell one of my antlers? Fun fact, deer shed their antlers. They shed them. And that's how you know that all the Santa's reindeer, they're all female, because male deer will... Oh my gosh, Delta, 19 months? My goodness. That is a long time. We're almost at 2 years there, aren't we? Jeez. Thank you. Yeah, and they bleed too. Yeah, but male deer shed their antlers before winter. So all of Santa's reindeer are female. Fun fact. Just based off of that. It's so funny how Christianity has taken a bunch of pagan holidays and just kind of stolen them. It's kind of funny when you look at the origin of them all. You're like, yep, that was definitely a pagan holiday. Oh wells. I feel like I'm just progressively going more downwards and I'm not actually making any progress. Oh well. Guess I just gotta keep on trying my best. Keep on trudging forward. Oh, we're falling again. Oh, we didn't fall that far at least. If we don't hit the bottom, it's not that far. Oh, I accidentally held that for too long. Where it becomes second nature, yeah. One day in the future, I will get high enough up. One day I'll get the hang of this game. Okay, I don't know how I failed that one because that jump is like one of the easiest jumps in the game, so... Wait, I was in the wrong spot. Hang on, there's something in my eye. Ugh, my hands hurt. Hang on, let me just get to a certain point real quick. Okay. My hands really hurt. I need to stretch them out because I'm clutching the controller. 751. Oh my good gosh. Ugh. Oh. I gotta like snap, crackle, and pop everything. Everything. My goodness, I'm so eepy. Now, I am going to be collabing with a friend later, Iso. She's not streaming at the moment. Does she start later then? But my hands hurt, and it's been 2 hours just playing this. Has it been 2 hours? It's been 2 hours just playing this game. So I'm gonna raid one of my friends. Do they call Dundrees because they're usually farming? Spinning. Probably. I'm gonna raid one of my friends. Iso's not streaming, otherwise I would have raided her because I will be on her stream later. I'll make an announcement in the Discord, so make sure you join the Discord because it has like awesome... I'm awesome information and peoples and all the good jazz. And I can't even think right now. I can't even think. Let me see. Discord. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank yous. Hopefully I get to see more of you. Let's see. Let me get the raid. God, my hands hurt. My hands hurt from clutching the controller so long. But I'll do an announcement in the Discord for when I am on Iso's stream, so you guys can pop in, visit her, all that good stuff. Yes. And if you don't see that little raid notification at the top of your screen, make sure you refresh your page, your app, whatever you're on. And here's our follower raid message, and then here is our sub raid message. So make sure you copy and paste one of those, so we can help spread the love. You want to make sure that you're in the raid because you get extra channel points. Thank you for the boops. Thank you for the boops. You get extra channel points when you join us for the raid, and also maybe you'll meet a new friend that you will like to watch stream. Yes. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for coming to the stream, whether you alert, chatted, or maybe you did a little bit of both. You silly little goofy Cooper. Either way, I appreciate you guys so very much, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.